Have you ever felt like you're endlessly repeating the same emotional and sexual pattern, attracting people who seem to consume you and vanish? As if there's something in you that pulls in, like an invisible magnet, exactly those who don't know or don't want to truly love you. That feeling of being used, of being desired but not held, of being a body but never a soul, it's no coincidence. It's a symptom, a reflection, a shadow. Carl Jung said the unconscious doesn't just influence your life, it runs it. And when you ignore that, you start calling destiny what is actually repetition. In this video, we'll dive deep into the layers of the psyche. You'll understand why certain sexual connections are actually activations of your wounds, not your soul, and how to break this cycle once the light of awareness shines through desire. The first thing you need to understand is this. Sexual attraction is not neutral. It's a language of the unconscious. Often we don't desire the other person. We desire the part of ourselves we've repressed, now projected onto them. Carl Jung called this the shadow. Everything you didn't accept in yourself, your anger, your desire, your power, your abandonment, gets repressed. But it doesn't disappear, it hides, and it returns with force in the form of attraction. Have you ever wondered why certain people who treat you badly seem paradoxically more exciting? Why does danger seduce? Why does disrespect spark desire? Because your shadow recognizes something of yours in them, and it seeks in the other what you rejected in yourself. This isn't conscious attraction. It's like your psyche is saying, "There's the missing piece of me." But what begins as reunion can become a prison, because the other isn't there to heal you. They merely reflect, amplify what you still haven't transformed. Beyond the shadow, other forces are at play in this invisible dance. The persona and the archetypes of anima and animus. The persona is the mask we wear to be accepted. Often, that mask is hypersexualized or emotionally seductive but inwardly hollow. Without realizing it, you may be offering a desirable character to the world, while your real self remains hidden. This attracts people who fall for the mask, but never truly see you. And then comes the pain. To be desired but not loved, to be touched but not seen. Anima in men and animus in women are unconscious inner figures of the feminine and masculine. When not integrated, we project them as the ideal partner and mistake projection for connection. You don't love that person. You love what they awaken in your unconscious. And this creates an illusion. It feels like love, like a soulmate, but it's just your wound dancing with its mirror. When the projection fades, the pain comes. The disappointment isn't with the other, it's with the gap between who they are and who you saw. Many people who end up in sexual relationships where they feel used share a common root: the wound of emotional abandonment. This wound, almost always formed in childhood, creates an unconscious belief system. I'll only be loved if I'm desirable. My body is my only currency. Being vulnerable makes me disposable. These beliefs shape your emotional vibration and the kind of relationships you allow. Unconsciously, you may be seeking validation through sexuality, and you attract people who only know how to value you through that language. People who connect with your body but reject your soul, who want you in bed but ghost you by breakfast. And worse, the more this repeats, the more your unconscious mind confirms the original belief: I'm not enough. It's a cruel cycle. The wound attracts the pattern reinforces the wound. But here's the most important truth. This is not your fault. It's a psychic process, but it's also not your fate. It can be transformed by the light of awareness. Carl Jung identified many archetypes, but one of them becomes especially dangerous when unconscious: the lover. The lover isn't just about sex. It represents the impulse toward union, emotional fusion, transcendence. But when repressed or distorted, the lover becomes obsession, emotional addiction, dependency. You start confusing intensity with intimacy, sex with love, chemistry with healing. Here lies the trap. You don't desire them. You desire what they awaken in you, and that blinds you. You start accepting breadcrumbs, emotional neglect, cruel silences, in exchange for brief moments of validation and pleasure. Your psyche goes into a trance. Your body surrenders, but your soul bleeds. Jung would say this is a call from the unconscious, not for you to repeat the pattern, but to recognize it, name it, integrate it. When the archetype is unconscious, it controls you. When it becomes conscious, it becomes power. Breaking this cycle takes courage, but not ordinary courage, spiritual courage. Healing begins when you look at yourself and say, I deserve more than being used. I am more than my body. You begin to integrate your shadow, recognizing that there's a desire for validation, for affection, for control. And that's okay, but it can no longer dominate you. You begin to shed the persona, showing your real self, even if it means losing some superficial connections. You reclaim your anima or animus, not by searching for it in others, but by finding it within, balancing strength and vulnerability, desire and affection. And then something shifts. You no longer desire just anyone. You start attracting people who see your whole being, because your energy no longer says, use me, but rather, meet me. Carl Jung called this process individuation, the return to the self, to the totality of being, to love that doesn't hurt, doesn't trap, doesn't consume, but transforms. If you've made it this far, it's because your soul is ready to be free, ready to break the spell of repetition, to stop the pattern, to face the pain and say, I see myself. You were not made to be used. You were made to be a mirror of consciousness, of depth, of true love. And when you align with your essence, the outside world begins to change, because the unconscious, now illuminated, stops being a prison and becomes a portal to conscious relationships, to soulful encounters, to connections that don't just touch you, but heal you. Carl Jung said, what you deny submits you. What you accept transforms you. Accept your story, embrace your shadow, and transform your destiny. If this message resonated with you, comment below, I am not just a body, I am presence. See you in the next symbolic dive.